So this is my video on letter writing in Spanish and possibly emails as well. And we're going to look at formal styles and informal styles. So formal styles would be to somebody you don't know, a formal letter to a department of the government or to the council or somebody you don't know very well. So we might say estimado señor, and this is where we know the name of the person and we put the surname here. So dear sir, if it's plural, estimados señores, or estimados señores y señoras, if it's male and female. Or we could say estimado señor y señora. If it's a woman, estimada señora, with the name of the person, or estimadas señoras. Slightly more formal, I think. Muy señor mío, and generally it's the person you don't really know. So dear sir, or muy señora mía, dear madam. Or if you're not sure whether it's a man or a woman, you'd put both. Muy señor, señora mío, mía, dear sir or madam. And then to start off a letter, we might use a quien corresponda or a quien le interese, to whom it may concern, instead of using all the dear sir, madam, etc. Me dirijo a usted o ustedes, I'm writing to you. Le o les escribo para, so para followed by an infinitive. I'm writing to you in order to find out. Para saber, for example. Le for singular and les for plural if you're writing to somebody. One person, le, more than one person, les. Or we could, if they've sent you something, le o les agradezco. Notice here that we don't have the word para in Spanish, where we do have the word for in English. So agradezco means to thank somebody for something. Agradecer is the infinitive. So I'm thanking you for, literally. Le for the singular, thanking one person. Les for the plural, thanking more than one person. By the way, if you're not sure how to do these pronouns here, have a look at my object pronouns video, and that will go through those for you. So when we're writing a formal letter, we always must make sure we use the formal you forms of the verbs. Now, I personally don't always teach these in class, especially not at GCSE level, but you might be interested at GCSE. But certainly A level, you should be having a look at these. So usted is singular you formal, ustedes plural you formal. And which parts of the verb? Well, we take the third person singular and plural, so i.e. the he, she, it becomes the he, she, it and the you formal singular, and the they becomes the they and the you formal plural. So let's give you some examples. Por ejemplo, necesita usted enviar los documentos. Necesita, you singular formal, you need to, usted, just to clarify that it's you formal. Not necessarily needed, but you can put it in. Enviar los documentos. This is where we use a possessive adjective. Quiero saber si su departamento puede ayudarme. Su being your, formal. Sus if it's the thing after it is plural, if the noun after it is plural. I want to know if your department can help me. So I've just reminded you about the S on the end. And the last one. Es necesario que sus ministros intenten reducir. So it's necessary that your ministers try to reduce something. Your plural here. Okay? Good. Right, let's move on to the next one. So how will we end a letter? Well, we might say le agradezco again, su ayuda, or les agradezco, if we're using it in the formal, or les agradezco su pronta atención, your speedy attention, pronta here being the adjective. Or le saluda atentamente. One thing to note here is if there's more than one person signing off, you put an N on the end, le saludan atentamente. Or les saluda atentamente, if you're writing to more than one person. Esperando una respuesta muy pronto. I'm hoping for a response very soon. Notice here we're using adverb of time, so this is why this doesn't agree with respuesta. Sorry, a little pause there where I noticed I'd put respuesta instead of respuesta. So it doesn't agree, the O doesn't agree here because this one is an adverb of time. However, this one, con la esperanza de una pronta solución, pronta, quick, agreeing with the solución because it ends in ION, and that's feminine, a feminine ending for nouns. Atentamente, simply, we could put that at the end. Or un saludo cordial, which is slightly less formal, So you might do that with somebody you might know a bit better. Okay, so let's have a look at a formal letter. So we've got muy señor mío. Le escribo para agradecerle la respuesta que me mandó, pero la verdad es que creo que el gobierno no hace lo suficiente para reducir la cantidad de emisiones dañinas en nuestra ciudad. Si no se hace nada, habrá más protestas para convencerle. So notice here I've used the dear sir, le, because it's formal, I'm writing to you, and then to thank you, agradecerle, in order to thank you for the answer that you sent me. So this one's the he, she, it form, and the you formal in the preterite. El gobierno is a singular collective noun, so we use he, she, it. Here, hace lo suficiente. No se hace nada. This is the informal form, impersonal form. And in order to convince you, le here, again we're using you, is the le form. Remember, if it was plural, it would be les. Con la esperanza de una solución adecuada, y le agradezco su pronta atención. And then we'll just sign off with le saluda atentamente el señor Smith. Okay, so that's an example of a formal letter. Okay, let's have a look at informal letters. So people you know really well, friends, probably more email style, but not necessarily. So we could use querido, dear, if it's masculine, somebody you're talking to. So querido Felipe or querido Pablo. Dear if it's feminine, querida if the person's feminine, obviously. Querida Maria or querida Marisa or querida Isabel. Or queridos if it's plural masculine, so if it's your cousins, for example, or queridos if it's mixed, so it's your aunt and your uncle, or your pen friend's parents, for example. Possibly use that. Or queridas if the people are plural, so it might be female cousins, for example. So we could start also, instead of saying querido, we could say hola. Don't forget your upside down exclamation mark here. If you're not sure how you do that, on your keypad, if you put the number lock on and then you press the York key and hold it down and type the number 173 in the keypad to the right of your keyboard, not the top numbers, but to the right, and then let go, then the 173 will give you an upside down exclamation mark. So, hola. And then a different way, instead of saying le agradezco, we're saying te agradezco. Te agradezco la carta que me escribiste. Slightly more formal, I think, this way of saying it. And perhaps a bit more polite, but that's just my interpretation of it. So thank you for the letter that you sent me, que me escribiste, that you wrote me, you singular, or os agradezco, I'm thanking you, plural, la carta for the letter, que me escribisteis, that you plural wrote to me. And then perhaps slightly more informal, I suppose, gracias por. So this is where we do need to say thank you for. We use por after gracias in this case. Gracias por el regalo que me mandaste, or que me mandasteis. Me mandaste, you singular. Me mandasteis, you plural. Te escribo, I'm writing to you, or os escribo, if it's plural. The person you're writing to is more than one. Para saber si, I'm writing to you to see if, or to know if. Okay, so informal endings then. So we could just say simply adios, saludos, best wishes, saludos cordiales, or un cariñoso saludo. Saludos cordiales, perhaps slightly more formal. Un cariñoso saludo, very best wishes, a bit more informal. A bit more formal, sorry. Un cariñoso saludo, a bit more formal. Saludos, sorry, I'm getting myself confused here. Saludos cordiales, a bit more formal. Un cariñoso saludo, a bit more informal. Have you got that the right way around? Escríbeme pronto, write to me soon. And this is if you're writing to one person. Okay. Hasta pronto, see you soon. Hasta entonces, until then, or see you at that point. See you then. Espero recibir tu respuesta pronto. I hope to hear from you soon. Te veo en unas semanas. I'll see you in a few weeks. Or en mayo. You can change that to the way you want it. Nos veremos pronto. We will see each other soon. Nice use of the pronoun here. We will see each other. Y besos y abrazos. Note in this case we have kisses and hugs in Spanish rather than hugs and kisses. Okay, so that's the endings that you could use. So let's have a look at the informal letter. So, hola Pedro. Muchas gracias por el regalo que me mandaste para mi cumpleaños. Eres muy amable. Lo celebré con toda la familia en un restaurante italiano, porque me encanta la comida italiana. Te enviaré más detalles cuando tenga más tiempo. And then I'm signing off with gracias de nuevo. Te escribiré pronto. Peter. Now you can pause it now and have a go at translating this on your own, or we'll just go through it now if you don't pause it. So, hi Pedro, thanks so much for the presents, and muchas gracias por, gracias being the informal form, que me mandaste, that you, informal, singular, mi cumpleaños, eres muy amable, lo celebré, I celebrated it, i.e. my birthday, with my family in an Italian restaurant because I love Italian food. Encanta in the singular form, not en on the end because comida singular. Te enviaré, I will send to you. More details, cuando tenga, if you don't know how to use subjunctive. Cuando plus a future reference, we use tenga. So look at my subjunctive video if you're not sure. Más tiempo. And then writing off at the end, gracias de nuevo, te escribiré pronto, Peter. Thanks again, I'll write to you soon, Peter. Okay, so that's how we do letter writing in Spanish.